Good morning, it's Kinninigan. Please share, like, subscribe. This is just a rant about it actually involves reptilians of all things. I don't like calling him my nemesis, and I'll explain this why. This is one of the points for this whole video right here. This video pops up in my feed. Yes, it's David Icke. David Icke has some new interesting takes on reptilians he's talking about. Here, let me just play this for you, sure, and I'll explain what's going on here.
They are in a low vibrational state. So to absorb energy from humans, it has to be low vibrational energy. And what it does, and people have researched this and experienced this long back. They've given it the name loosh.
Yeah, who's that, Dave? Other people? Loosh? Yeah, that was a word I've been using quite a
This
while.
low vibrational energy, and it's based on fear, anxiety, depression, anger, hatred. Not so much anger, that can be turned into a positive emotion, but hatred, conflict, war, all these things obviously generate this low vibrational energy, because it's been long known by mainstream science that every time we think and every time
And basically, he's saying, yes, reptilians are interdimensional. They feed off this low vibrational energy, fear, anger. So, what I'm going to say here, in defense of me, David Icke, every other reptilian researcher out there, whether it's James Bartley, Richard Bruce, I know who they all are. Okay? We're not a very big, we might not, I will say this: reptilian researchers, good luck trying to get all of us in a room together. Okay, because we are a small group. Some of us, hey, I'm not going to say anything bad about David Icke because that would negate the whole point of the video. Now, I have rants sometimes, and my rants when I'm upset, normally sometimes you've heard them on YouTube. They come for a few reasons. One, talking about this low vibrational energy, and I'll explain why I'm making this video. First, in my defense, oh yeah, please share, like, subscribe. Um, I do need marijuana. That puts me in a good state. So if you could support the channel. I also, at the end of the video, I'll give you some more information that I recorded a radio show that's going to be airing this Friday on nationally syndicated FM radio. 3 o'clock in the morning, but you think we're getting the rush hour traffic show? Yeah, I don't think they'd want to teach people about reptilians during rush hour. That might cause some traffic accidents. Yeah, that's not what we're trying to do here. But yeah, it was recorded with a friend of mine, Jeff, from In Other News Radio. We did the recording on Monday. He's editing it, but it will be published on his website Friday, I believe. And when he does publish it, I will be able to share that interview with you, meaning you don't have to find it at 3 a.m. in the morning on your FM radio station. But it will be. This is the second time I've been on this program. And I have some links pulled up here because I got some mind-boggling things. Where I am starting to get into the realms of my research. Just before I rant about what Ike's talking here about loose energy, because that's a big problem right now in podcasting and political circles, and I'm going to call this bullshit out. And I don't like what's going on. I told you this was the Helligan dialect. They're creating, and this started with the Charlie Kirk assassination. So we'll get back to that in a second. Yeah, don't feed the archons. Um, I'm going to defend reptilian researchers. At least, we might not know each other or agree with each other, but you're not going to find me and David Icke on podcasts slinging mud at each other like I'm seeing with a lot of these quote unquote. And quite honestly, a lot of people covering Charlie Kirk are becoming bigger conspiracy theorists than me and David Icke. Oh, that's right, because I'm not really a conspiracy theorist anymore. And so if you could support my channel, I have a lecture I want to give today on something that we talked about on Monday. It involves the native Terran reptilians, the native indigenous. And not only do I have facts about this, we have facts that are actually backed up by scientists now. The Silurian hypothesis. Yes, this is a hypothesis that scientists did and peer reviewed about what if an evolved reptilian hominoid species, that word Silurian is from Doctor Who, also the reptilian race from that series, if you did not know, who look a lot like the native Terran reptilians in the show. So we have peer reviewed scientific hypothesis now that yes, a evolved reptilian race may have evolved alongside dinosaurs, and if they were destroyed in the K2 event when the asteroid hit and took out the dinosaurs, would we even find any evidence for their civilization? Actually, we have. We found a lot of evidence. There's an underground reptilian city, for example, under Los Angeles right now, and that is not an Alpha Dracodian construct. That is from the native Terran reptilians. So, yeah, who's the conspiracy theorist now? This is called the Silurian hypothesis. So, long story short, I did a. This is how my research is evolving all the time, which is not what a lot of people can say in any. I don't care what you're researching, whether it's Bigfoot, reptilians, the Charlie Kirk shooting. If you're not evolving the research, this is called the scientific method. If you're not evolving your research, then you're not really doing research because you're looking for answers that are already in your head or that you're trying to justify, and I'm not. So 6 years ago, I did this hour-long video, scientific evidence of native Terran reptilians, and now I need to update. By the way, these reptilians you're looking at on the screen right here are from a BBC documentary. Yeah, the BBC made a documentary about the same hypothesis many years ago, and these are the models they came up with. It gets even more. And this is a statue of a native Terran reptilian from a Japanese temple. Yeah, who's the conspiracy theorist now? So maybe I'll do this video today. We'll see. But what I want to say about Ike and in defense of reptilian researchers, you're not going to find us fighting on fighting on podcasting and platforms happens a lot with psyops. Charlie Kirk, Flat Earth, Tartaria, um, and basically it involves a lot of people from alphabet agencies, federal agencies, and secret societies, and ultimately it's to have Zionist narrative going on throughout whatever conspiracy it is, or they just want to call you names, conspiracy theorists. Although, who's like I said, who's the conspiracy theorist now when we have peer-reviewed academic scientific journals saying that yeah, a reptilian civilization did possibly exist alongside the dinosaurs, and that would be the native Terran reptilians. I'll make that video hopefully later on today. I'm not going to start. Oh, going back to the radio show, we only had an hour to record that. And I don't know if this is good or bad. Probably good for my podcast because it means that I definitely have the oomph to go for 2 hours at a time on any lecture I give. Because he'd ask me questions about certain topics, and he kind of had cut me off like, Kim, we only have an hour. I understand. That was like a long winded answer. And I'm like, wow. I was like, I didn't realize, how much of this stuff I had. So yeah, if you're going to ask me questions about reptilians yeah, get ready for some answers. And but anyway, we did talk about native Terran reptilians in that interview. But in defense of here's where I got very upset yesterday. I saw a very big, well-known shit. I'm not even going to hide who it was. It was Tim Pool from Timcast. Throw a temper tantrum on one of his podcasts, and he called Candace Owens the CUNT word. Now, look, I don't put up with that shit at all. I've been raised and I treat women. I dated a Freemason's daughter. If anyone should be calling anyone names, and I'm even nice when I talk about her because I'm not, and yeah, I'm nice to women in general. And I do not call them the CUNT word. And to see these podcasters losing their shit and all this mudslinging that's going on over the Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA bullcrap. But at the end of the day, you are feeding the reptilians. Did you not hear David Icke talking about they feed off this low vibrational energy of fear, anger, depression? I don't know what the hell Tim Pool. I think you're doing pretty damn well financially, Tim, in your compound, wherever it is in the woods, wherever. What the hell are you so mad about? I'm sure you woke up today. I don't know if he smokes weed or not, but the point being, yeah, you're not worrying every day when you wake up if you're going to get cigarettes or marijuana. Uh, Hopefully that changes for me going forward next year with the podcast. We'll see. So if you could support the channel, I'd appreciate it. Um, December is never. Yeah, I haven't even begun Christmas shopping for anyone yet. I don't even know if I can afford it. I'm not, but I'm telling you right now, it would never get to the point where you're going to see me, David Icke, Richard Bruce, James Bartley, any of the other reptilian researchers out there going on mudcast, going on podcasts and calling each other, the CUNT word, or cursing each other out over our theories. And I actually explained this in the radio show. I don't know if it's going to make it in the final edit, but in my defense, I said this is what we call the scientific method. All the research I put out about reptilians is just stuff I find. And just like a peer-reviewed journal that comes out about this, anyone is welcome to fact-check the information I put out. This is called the scientific method. All right? When people have theories about what might have happened to Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA, and rather than listen to them with any evidence they have, like peer-reviewing a scientific journal, and you just resort to dropping F-bombs or calling Candace Owens. Now, I don't trust Candace Owens, but I'm going to call out the other bullshit with these podcasters. None of yous, amazingly, have heard of COINTELPRO, MI6, Freemason, secret societies, and quite honestly, I'm a little skeptical of all of yous because they're slinging all this mud around, but apparently none of them have heard about secret societies, which is one of the main ways that reptilians control social engineering. So reptilians and archons, they feed off that divide and conquer bullcrap that's going on with the Charlie Kirk shooting. Um, we're not trying to. So in a strange way, people like me and David Icke talking about reptilians are only having our theories proven with science every day. Meanwhile, the supposedly sane, because we don't talk about Bigfoot and chemtrails and reptilians on our podcast. No, we're better than that. We talk about politics all day. Oh God. Oh no, we're much better than them crazy reptilian conspiracy theorists. Although we're cursing out other people on our podcast, calling them the CUNT word. And look, it's mudslinging going on both sides. What do you think the whole purpose of politics was in the beginning? Yeah, as it's the duality, keep people divided, and just look at the mudslinging that's going on. However, it's not beneficial for anyone, even the reptilians, in the long run, because if you have a civilization that starts spiraling out of control over infighting and stuff like that, that was basically the downfall of the Roman Empire. Okay, so nothing new under the sun. But in defense of reptilian researchers, at least we're not even now I've seen some pretty nasty back and forth within the conspiracy circles. Believe it or not, you actually do see it with Sasquatch. There's two camps of Sasquatch. Those who think he's just a dumb ape and there's no way that he could be an intelligent hominoid, and then others that believe other things about Sasquatch. And yeah, it can get a little. Uh, So yeah, my competition is back on YouTube. He's talking about reptilians being energy parasites, feeding off loose energy, Uh, like I said, David, I could do his thing. I'll do my thing. That's what we that this is what it's supposed to be about. But to see political commentators now spiraling into and quite honestly, I think the whole thing's an act between them. And one of the main reasons for that is so they can ultimately clamp down on censorship again because they're losing control of the narrative. But strangely, it's not about reptilians. We're arguing about one human out of 8 billion people that possibly got assassinated or not assassinated. And just look at the divide it's causing within these circles. I, don't- I, I tell people as is this day, I'm just a political atheist, okay? Republican, Democrat, I don't care who you are. Try being a human first, okay? Instead of talking negative about people because they're MAGA or they're liberal or this divide and conquer bullshit's been going on for thousands of years. So if you want to engage in it, I'm going to call you out for it. And so these humans that are feeding the archons with their low vibrational energy, mudslinging, cursing each other out on podcasts, grow the hell up. If I had as much money as Tim Cast did, I don't think I'd be that depressed or angry every day. I'm a little angry right now. Yeah, I do need weed, so if you could support the channel, I'd appreciate it. I do have cigarettes and I do have coffee, thank God. And the other thing too is I don't know what I'm going to do it, but sometime this week I'm probably going to have to take a day off. I have to set up my new podcast studio. I got boxes sitting next to me. Half of my equipment was donated, so I would like to thank Kalina. I had not going to sugarcoat anything. It was probably about I don't know, maybe about $500 worth of brand new podcasting equipment donated to the channel, and I had to pay for some out of my pocket, and it wasn't cheap because we have these huge tariffs on China right now. Quite honestly, I'm not buying electronics unless they're made in China because that's just the way it is. So you start with decent gear and hopefully you upgrade. But I'm good with audio equipment. I can make a where the real money was in that is I got a very good podcasting mic. I have an Audio Technica BP40 now, which is a XLR wire condenser mic with humbuckers in it. Humbucking cuts out electromagnetic frequencies on microphones, which is very good if you live in a city like mine where there's Wi-Fi everywhere. So basically, I'm gonna have to take like half a day to move furniture. Yeah, let's just say that. And I got all Basically, I'm gonna set all that stuff up, and then we'll do some test recordings with that. But basically, I have all the equipment I need. Actually, I think I need to order one thing off Amazon. It's an accessory. It's like a wire for something. Um, I think that's it. So the equipment's done. The subject matter is already done. The only things I have to do now is kind of so everything going forward for my podcast in January should be on track. The only thing I got to allow myself not to do is get distracted by anything. Yeah, that tends to happen when people seek enlightenment. They're usually trying to get perturbed off the good way of demonic forces trying to hold you down. Or if I'm pumping out a podcast that's at least 2 hours a week on reptilians, native terrans, and I'm not just talking 20-minute YouTube clips. I'm talking 2 hours at a time. 50, that no one has that kind of content available on a platform that people can access about reptilians. Nobody does. So I expect that as I make these podcast episodes to attract attention in a good, hopefully in a good way. But in our defense, now I had made videos about like shifting on video many years ago and accused him of being a Freemason. Yes, I did. But that video, oh well, it is what it is. But we'd be no better than the Reptilians or the secret societies ourselves if we, as reptilian researchers, were slinging mud at each other, dropping f bombs, calling each other names over our research or who's right, who's wrong. So in a strange way, I would say that if we, in our defense, we reptilian researchers are keeping it more classy and ethical and moral than you political commentators are. So if I have to hear the word conspiracy theorist come out of your mouth anymore because we've researched reptilians while you're sitting there calling Candace Owens the CUNT word and you're mad because someone allegedly shot your house up, um, whatever. I don't know. Maybe, hey Tim, maybe you might want to research reptilians instead, because Marduk and Enki, they're not coming by my house at night and doing drive-by shootings because I'm talking about lizard people. Yeah, as crazy as that may sound, you don't get death threats when you talk about the Anunnaki all day. Kind of interesting how that works, isn't it? I lost 10 YouTube channels. None of those videos had to do anything with reptilians. They were over the trans agenda, the pandemic, the stolen election, politics. So yeah, I'm telling you right now, politics has become more toxic and downright pathetic. And we got bigger conspiracy theorists in politics right now than the actual people researching reptilians. So in our defense, me, David Icke, James Bartley, Richard Bruce, I know who they all are. We'll keep it classy. We'll continue to put our own theories out there. We're not going to attack each other. This is called the scientific method. This is where people research a subject together and fact check each other. It's called peer reviewing. Whereas it has devolved into like people doing politics now, or cover even if they're covering woke movies in Hollywood. Every day it's just you're putting out a video talking about some stupid thing that a movie or a movie company did, or this movie's bad, or this movie sucks, and this is bad. Donald Trump's the Antichrist. He's Hitler. He's a Nazi. They're dropping it. They're calling each other names. They're getting in fights, and they're all accusing each other of being shills. But apparently, none of them have heard about secret societies, which is amazing. Quite honestly, I think if you're going to be a political commentator on YouTube and you don't know about secret societies, yeah, what are you really doing? Oh, you're afraid to mention the Freemason? The Freemason, you know what? Not even a Freemason will come by and shoot your house up. I'm telling you right now. So I don't know what user covering that's so taboo that your houses are getting shot up and Tim Pool's calling Candace Owens the CUN. Oh, that's a recent trend among these podcasters. They're all saying that their lives are being threatened. A bunch of them are. If you know who I'm talking about, you know what? Nobody's threatening me and David Icke. Maybe you should just stick to reptilians. You know, James, you sit there and you call people like us crazy and conspiracy theorists all day. You're the ones getting your houses shot up and freaking out, dropping f bombs on podcasts and fighting with each other and making content every day that's just exactly like David said, low vibrational, loss feeding energy. I get angry over things like satanic ritual abuse and child trafficking. So yeah, I do get emotional over that. And I'm not even going to apologize for that one. And yeah, I get a little emotional when I go through marijuana withdrawal. I smoke marijuana. You know why I tell people that? One of the main ways that COINTELPRO, real shills, were taught to discredit people on online forums, because I'm talking from experience, was to immediately denounce someone as being having a mental condition, like, or being a drug addict. So one day I woke up and said, "All right, well, I know my research with reptilians is solid. They want to sit there and call me drug addict every day. Well, you guess what? I do smoke marijuana. I'm just going to tell them I smoke marijuana. And this is from that day forward. I tell people, yeah, I smoke weed. I drink beer about once a week. Oh well. You think that's impacting the evidence I bring forward? Besides, I don't even consider marijuana a real drug. It's not a product of alchemy. Let's just say that. And if you think that fentanyl is anywhere in the same league as marijuana, whatever. Yeah, you should probably not comment on drugs at all. But that was the basic COINTELPRO order of operation. Call people mentally unstable, accuse them of being drug addicts. So it's like now when I'm on live streams, smoking a joint, telling people about reptilians, yeah, call me a drug addict all you want. That's why I started talking about that. Now COINTELPRO couldn't pull out anything out of their ass and accuse me of being this or that because what are you going to do? Accuse him of smoking weed? He tells us he smokes weed. Kenny goes on YouTube videos, asks people to donate to his channel so he can buy weed. He's not hiding anything. Yeah, see how that works. And there's also there's some divine thinking there. It has to do with the rules of manifestation in the universe. If you ask for something, hopefully it appears. So I asked for small things like a pack of cigarettes or the ability to buy marijuana, but you know, I don't want to be real negative. The holidays are coming up. It's December, and if you noticed, a lot of why are all these people getting so bitchy right around Christmas time? Yeah, so they could shit on a Christian holiday and just cause all this mudslinging. Now we have an event coming up for Turning Point USA in a few days. I've been hearing about it. All the let's just call them the $7,000 club, if you know what I'm talking about with that. They're all meeting in Arizona. Oh God, I'm sure I'm going to be seeing clips on the internet about that meeting soon. They're losing their audience because, but in the defense of me and David Icke, James Bartley, Richard Bruce, other people who research reptilians out there, I don't think we're going to stoop to the level of the low vibrational mudslinging that we see going on with quote unquote political commentators. And you guys want to put yourself on this high horse, like, oh, we're better. We comment on politics all day, and yeah. Then I see clips of you going around. All of them are losing their mind, and all of them are pretty damn shady. I wouldn't trust any one of them. And quite honestly, they're all feeding the archons right now with their low vibrational mudslinging, name calling energy right now. Interesting. So that's kind of my rant this morning. You just want to lecture about native Terran reptilians and scientific evidence proving that they are real? Yeah, it's kind of funny how the world of conspiracy theories work. I'm able to back up things I've been teaching for years with scientific evidence now. Meanwhile, just look what uh, you know what? I don't like being associated with cults. First of all, so as soon as you call me like something like Mogatard, you lose me because, like I said, I'm trying to teach people to be humans first. I don't care which country you're from, which political party you're associated with, and also, sadly, we have a lot of people that have been harmed by MK Ultra mind control, which is why that is the root cause of Trump derangement syndrome. That is MK Ultra mind control. And amazingly, one thing that breaks MK Ultra mind control is marijuana. That's why it was made illegal with the rise of the television set. Yeah, you think that's another video I can make. Yeah. How are they going to use televisions to program people if they were all participating in marijuana? This is why there was a big anti-marijuana propaganda from our own government in the early and now we realize how full of shit they were the whole time. And I even have manuals written by black magicians themselves. Gerald Gardner, I have one of his books, which I should sell because it's worth quite a bit of money. But even in that book, he says that during a cult ritual, when invoking demons, it's encouraged that you engage in alcohol and drugs because it enhances demonic possession. However, you are not allowed to consume marijuana. Interesting. Now you see why they hate the weed so much. It breaks MK Ultra mind control. Yeah, they know that. It has something to do. There's actually a scientific explanation for it. I don't just basically what marijuana does to your brain synapses and the electrons in your brain and the way they fire off. This is why people like me are able to hyper focus on things. If you have like ADHD, you could hyper focus on things when you're under the influence of marijuana, which I can. Some of the best lectures I've ever done about reptilians, I've smoked marijuana right before them. Yeah, who's laughing now, right? So anyway, that's all for my rant this morning. It's sad to see what we're devolving into, but it's not a surprise. I've been calling this out for months. I told you people this is what they're doing. It's called the Helligan dialect. Also, if you were on my channel about my flat Earth video and you cursed me out in the comments for thinking the Earth is a globe, you're no better than these podcasters fighting about the Charlie Kirk assassination if you're going to sit here and come on my channel and call me whatever tard for believing the Earth is a globe. Because guess what? You're feeding the archons also. Even though I showed you in this video where Zetetic astronomy comes from, and these are Freemason teachings, but yeah, I know. Stick your fingers in your ears and yell at me. I don't care what anyone thinks, and yeah, I am an advocate of Hollow Earth, and these native Terran reptilians are living below the Earth right now. Yeah, like you people. Why are you so upset about the shape of the planet? Or why are you so upset when I say something about it? I tell you that these reptilians come from the Alpha Draconian star system. What don't you understand about that? So to come on my channel and be surprised that I think the Earth is a globe when I teach about reptilians that came from another galaxy in the times of Atlantis, now you're surprised? Like, what are we doing here? All right, sorry, I get a little emotional. Yeah, so if you want to, I'll give you stupid answers if you want to curse me out for thinking the Earth's a globe. Yeah, I got called fucktard in my comments. Whatever. He probably got mad because I said if the Earth was flat, cats would have knocked everything off the edge already. Yeah, Ross is actually right. Airplane flights make no logical sense on a flat Earth. Either does the Coriolis effect. How in the southern hemisphere they have typhoons, in the northern hemisphere we have hurricanes. Um, Two, I refuse to believe that humans themselves are the apex of intelligence in this universe. Because if we are, I don't know how much faith I have in God anymore. I'll tell you that. We're the apex of intelligence in the universe. Right. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not lying about the globe. Don't call me a liar. That's one thing I will not stand for. I told you, other people that said the Earth was a globe. One of them was Nikola Tesla. I trust what Nikola Tesla is saying before I trust with anyone else. And the other reason I recently made this video, I'm not going to spoil. There's a recent science fiction movie that came out that deals with flat Earth. That's all I'm saying, and they were mocking it, and it was hilarious. I showed you the original map from Babylon, going back to Reptilians of Marduk, showing the flat Earth map, saying oh, the universe is centered around Babylon, and it's surrounded by the bitter water. I said, this is the ancient, and they knew it wasn't flat. First of all, they came here from the Alpha Draco star system. Then we have these other things called meteorites. I mean, God forbid you notice that, right? You know, I guess they're falling off the firmament. Is that what a meteorite is? Are they falling? Whatever. This is why the flat Earth theory was a Luciferian psyop. Because look what it does to people. Whether you are researching the Charlie Kirk conspiracy and calling Candace Owen a cunt, or you're coming to my channel and calling me a fucktard for believing the Earth is a globe, this is low vibrational, lost feeding energy. And this is what it's designed to do. Don't feed the archons. I could have debates with anyone without resorting to calling them names. Okay? So, whatever. And don't tell me I don't study scripture. Okay? Yeah, you might not want to talk about my religious affiliation because you don't. No, I have an amazing ability to disassociate my spiritual beliefs with facts that I find. By the way, one of my people coming back to help me produce my podcast is a cybersecurity expert and an expert on physics. Would you like me to have him tell me how to debunk the flat earth theory with real physics again? And then I'll make that video because the last time we did that, yeah, we did that years ago when the PSYOP first came out, and he was telling me basic physics things about how to prove that, like, these people and how things actually worked. And yeah, God forbid you actually use real science. Whatever. The whole idea of that psyop, and the reason I'm talking about that, it's to generate low vibrational energy. Don't resort to name calling just because you don't agree with someone. Yeah, stop feeding the reptilians. You know, this is another thing. I'm not going to go into more detail about it right now, but when you find out the truth about Alpha Draconians, yeah, they do feed on negative energy. They are evil entities, but that's what they are. They're parasites. However, when it comes to harming other humans or being bad to other humans, it tends to be other humans doing it. Marduk isn't on a podcast right now calling people names and cunt and calling people fucktards. No, but other humans are. So interesting how that works, also, isn't it? I guess the comet that took out the dinosaurs, otherwise known as the planet Venus, I guess that's a psyop, also, right? The Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean, where that comet hit and sunk Atlantis and Lemuria. Yeah, how'd that happen? Did a light fall off the firmament? Is that what took out the dinosaurs? A light fixture fell down from the firmament. I'm sorry. You people make no sense. Why did the government just shut down so they didn't have to show that 3-eye Atlas object going through our solar system recently? Not only that, we have declassified documents, and I made a video on it years ago from the CIA when they actually remote viewed the planet Mars because they wanted to find out about the Sidonia structures on there that looked a lot like the Giza Plateau. Yeah, I guess these people remote viewing Mars and stuff like that, and those are declassified CIA documents. They exist, and the FBI does have something like the X Files. It's called the Black Vault, where there's a lot of paranormal uh, things in there. Also, but I'll still heart your comment. I'm not going to kick you off YouTube for calling me a fucktard. I don't care. But also, as why do you get so emotional over the shape of the Earth, or what you heard about the shape of the Earth? Now you're going to attack my spiritual beliefs now, because you can't attack me for being a drug addict. I already squashed that one with telling you I smoke weed. See how that works? So yeah, I don't know the Bible now. Yeah, whatever. I wasn't raised Catholic. Yeah, okay. Uh, At least Marduk isn't coming by and shooting up my house and calling me fucktard in my YouTube comments. I will give Marduk credit for that one. So, the only other people doing that are other humans. So, anyway, that's my rant for today. If you want to support the channel, yes, I got, this lecture is ready to go. I just need some, unless I fall asleep again, because we'll see. Would you like a lecture on native Terran reptilians? Would you like a lecture on native Terran reptilians on the globe Earth? How does that sound? By the way, I am a hollow Earth theorist, so I don't care what you believe. And yeah, there is a lot of evidence for the Earth being hollow. And stop feeding the archons. I'm telling you right now, the same shit that was used to push flat Earth theory is the same shit that was used to push Trump derangement syndrome. Maybe you need to come by and smoke a joint with me, and you'll calm down a little bit, or I can break your MK Ultra mind control programming. It was a Luciferian construct. It was a Luciferian psyop. Lucifer wants you to believe he's the center of the universe and nothing else exists beyond it. That was the whole point of the Babylonian flat Earth map I showed you. Just saying. And if you think that we as humans are the apex of intelligence in the universe, yeah, I'm not so sure about that one. This is why people get so emotional over such things as Donald Trump or the flat Earth. That's MK Ultra mind control. Yeah. Anyway, the truth does not require your approval. Just remember that. It's all for my rant. You want to support the channel? All the links are in the description. I have Cash App, PayPal, Vemno, and I would like to give a lecture on native Terran reptilians, and then, like I said, probably going to have to spend about a half a day setting up my new equipment and getting everything to work properly and interface with everything. Okay. Once I do that, my voice might change. I'm gonna get my Alex Jones New World Order. Yeah, they modulate his voice to sound like that. Wouldn't be the first podcaster out there that does that. I'm not gonna. No, I know how to enhance my voice to make it sound good, but I'm not gonna make myself sound like a like Alex Jones. You think his voice is really that deep? Like he smokes 20 packs of Pall Mall a day? No, no, it's not. So we're gonna do some sound tests, and anyway, it is Christmas time, so don't go around calling people the CUNT word or fucktard because they believe the Earth is a globe. Because Santa might just throw coal in your stocking and skip your house this Christmas. Just saying. Yeah, and I even asked my cats. They agree. If the Earth was flat, we would have knocked everything over the edge by now. Or we can go the other route, and I show you with um, actual physics that actually can prove things. Yeah, you want to you want to bring up the Bible? How about this? And then you can go put this in your pipe and smoke it. Jesus was crucified by the Pharisees by using magic and gossip. When you come to my YouTube channel and say I don't read the Bible because I believe the earth is a globe, that's gossip. So you're no better than the Pharisees who crucified Jesus, and that's how the reptilians think in Babylon. Like I said, try acting like a human for once. Yeah, sometimes people don't like the truth, but that is the truth. Yeah, this is part of how they keep control on this planet. Is a lot of this outdated beliefs. These psyops, they're having less and less impact. This is why I think we're seeing a lot of the nastiness coming out with the whole Charlie Kirk ensemble, whatever. All the actors involved acting like they're all fighting with each other now because their psyops aren't working anymore. And the funny thing is, people like me call conspiracy theorists for believing the Earth is ruled by reptilians on a globe Earth are actually being proven correctly with science, which is interesting. See how that works? You know, if you, well, first of all, I'm gonna say this before I end. If you don't believe in aliens and you think the Earth is just floating through space on a rock and nothing else exists, why are you even on a YouTube channel that teaches people about aliens? This would be like me saying I don't like transgenders, I support what they do, and then me going to Jeffree Star's YouTube channel and leaving comments on his videos all day about how I don't like trannies. Like, I don't like transgenders. I don't go to their fucking YouTube channel. It's real easy. I don't even, go do your thing. I don't care. Go drive your pink Lamborghini around LA and show everyone how much money you have. It's the other thing, all those Twitch LA streamers and whatever. Damn, did I choose the wrong path? I could have had an easy life. I could be on your YouTube doing makeup tutorials. I'm sure I'd be pretty damn wealthy by now if I did that, right? I'll stick to reptilians. At least we reptilian researchers. You're not going to find us cursing each other out on podcasts. And yeah, so when you start getting angry about other people's opinions on things and cursing them out, you are no better than the Pharisees from Babylonian Talmud, and that's the truth, because you're engaging in gossip. You don't know anything. You think you know me. Um, yeah, you'd be surprised. Or I don't even understand. Even if you're on my YouTube channel, so you're willing to accept the fact that reptilians are ruling the planet, except for the shape of. All right, I'm not getting in the flat Earth argument anymore. Screw screw the Charlie Kirk psyop, and screw the flat Earth psyop. I got bigger things to do with my life, okay? And that's to publish all my reptilian research in a podcast, and that's my New Year's resolution. I'm not going to get bogged down in this low vibrational energy bullshit anymore. It's not doing anyone any good. So I don't care whether Charlie Kirk was assassinated on the globe Earth or the flat Earth, or who cares anymore? Anyway, There's another psyop they were trying to push recently, but that one didn't catch on. That was the dead internet theory. Screw these people. Um, so yeah, I got some competition back on YouTube. David Icke's he's trying to get his presence known again. Yeah, we'll see who will win. And I'm not. But like I said, you're not gonna probably ever see me and David Icke resorting to calling each other's names on podcasts and accusing each other of being. Although I have said some things about him before, but I do keep a tab on what he's saying to people for obvious reasons. Yeah. So if you don't believe in aliens, what are you even doing on my YouTube channel? Why are you on a YouTube channel that teaches people about Alpha Draconian reptilians and then make Pikachu face when I say they came from outer space from another planet? What are we doing here? All right. Oh, don't even get me started on the Atlanteans being refugees from the Orion Wars. Whatever. Any questions or comments, leave them below if you could support the channel. All the links are in the description. Take care and God bless.